and pepper in there.
And sweet potatoes?
Yeah, we're live.
Are you serious?
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. I'm just glad it loaded.
Gosh, I gotta go get a water real quick. BRB.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
BRB.
use the bathroom real quick and get some water. I've
Oh,
been
now
sitting
that
here
I'm
drinking
back.
on
You guys run off now that I'm back.
it.
Bong. Testing.
Turn down for what?
You should just break out in song. Have you seen the music video for that?
No.
Can you hear me?
No. Yeah, I can. Can you hear me?
I can.
Okay. We
Have you
were
seen the music
watching.
video for that song?
No.
It's the worst thing ever made.
Well, just a second. I'll show you the greatest thing ever made.
Well, I'm not. I'm not. Do I
Hold on.
see? What are you
It's okay.
doing?
Okay, you're just gonna have to look at it on your phone.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. I'll send you the link. Oh wait, do you even have? You don't even have Facebook, do you?
I do not have Facebook. Alan texts me, "We can hear you, bro. We know all your recipes now."
That didn't sound good.
I'll be right back.
Alan's back. And you're going to be in trouble.
Paul had to leave. Something happened.
Really?
Hmm.
What happened? Is she alright?
I have no idea.
Oh no.
Oh wait, that's a link to us. I just texted you guys a link to us.
LOL.
Oh geez, I'm watching you now. Hey Alan, do me a favor. Can you text Paul a link to that video? If you can. When I'm clicking on that link I sent you earlier, it's like it's not working.
It's sent for me like as a embedded video in the message somehow. Let's see if I can't. Freaking Facebook doesn't give a good option to. Facebook sucks.
I know. How can I find that video?
That's why Facebook sucks. It makes it really hard to do that. See, like I can share now, which will just post it on my wall. I can write a post or I can send his message, but it doesn't give me the option to uh, get a link to it.
Oh wait, I found it on YouTube. I can send it to Paul right now.
Awesome. Turn down for who?
I gotta send it to Paul so he can really enjoy it.
Who's Paul?
He's this one dude.
I heard he likes sweet potatoes.
Oh man, amazing. I'm laughing already. Okay. Alright. Oh, here's another one. There's like a second version of it.
A second version?
Yeah, it's like the actual. Oh, this is like the original.
Are they okay at the end?
I don't know. I think I'm seeing blood on the. Let me just go a little faster. Oh yeah, there's Let me look here. All right, here they are. They're wiping out.
What are you eating, Alan?
Girl Scout cookie.
What kind?
Peanut butter.
Paul, watch the video I just sent you.
My dog just devoured the dinner that I cooked for my wife.
Oh, everyone's fine. They're just being a bunch of babies.
That's unfortunate.
Oh, wait, this one dude's face is a little jacked up. The guy that was driving the boat, he looks like he's been beaten to death.
You sent me 2 videos. Which one is the most?
Just the second one, yeah.
Let me see if I can. I'm in no man's land, man. I'm telling you, I can't even get cell service right now.
In the event of a zombie apocalypse, you'd be done. You couldn't contact the outside world. Couldn't get to a CDC outpost.
I'm glad we were live for all this.
Mm-hmm.
Me too. Is she fussing at Maisie?
Yes, she's being mean to the dog.
What's Maisie, or what's Rick gonna eat now?
Well, to be fair, Maisie only ate the good stuff, so she can eat all the healthy stuff.
Ew.
All right, let's do this.
Okay, I still haven't got this video to load.
Oh,
Load it,
I'll
Paul.
just have to watch it later.
I load it. Okay.
What? What? I'm a little bit nervous about this video, to be honest with you.
Jeez. This is the greatest video you've ever seen in your life. Let me see.
It's entitled. Its title kind of makes me nervous, honestly.
Just watch it. Just watch it.
What's the title?
You're not gonna regret it.
I don't know if I can get it to. Oh boy. Oh boy.
You watching it?
No, I'm not watching it.
Oh, come on!
I'm trying to watch it. I can't load it. I just told you I'm trying.
Okay.
Why don't you load it?
Just get...
Oh, come on!
Okay, maybe it's gonna load now. Oh boy.
Oh boy.
What? Oh no.
You hear it?
Oh, it's an ad. Oh look. An ad.
What's it an
Skip
ad
that
for?
I don't even know. Uh-oh.
Oh boy.
Just knowing what's happening.
It's really building up. Oh, that driver. This is really something.
It's crazy how they reverse time and make it go forward again.
Turn down for what?
Oh boy, that was really something.
All right. All right, you guys ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. Are you ready?
Yeah. Do you have your news segment ready, Paul?
Yeah,
All right, let's do this.
What's there for news?
Episode
wait.
134.
couple things. We'll find out.
134.
134.
Ready? All right.
Yes.
3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome. You're listening to Ancillary Characters, episode 134.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Ancillary Characters podcast. Podcast on the website ancillarycharacters.com.
Turn down for what,
The
Seth?
video's playing. I'm one of your hosts. My name is Seth Breedlove, joined tonight by two of my pals from the state of North Carolina.
Alan Boone.
And from the internet-starved capital of the world,
Yeah.
Kentucky.
Yeah. That's me, Paul Shirley.
And this is a podcast about comic books where occasionally we will happen upon a video that storms our life like the troops storming the beaches at Normandy. And one of them tonight was the Turn Down for What Fail Bikini Girls Boat Crash Remix, found on YouTube. Look it up if you don't know what I'm talking about. You'll thank me. Tonight we're talking about comics.
We are.
And specifically Jim's Dub's Skullkickers.
What?
Yeah.
Comics, much beloved Image Comics book.
That's this week?
I don't know.
It's tonight, in fact. Here
I'm
in
not
the,
actually
in the
sure.
next hour.
What is Skullkickers?
Oh, no.
What is Skullkickers?
I'm just kidding.
You want me to synopsize that right now?
No.
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 Okay.
No, Alan. No.
No?
How are you guys doing? Paul, how have you been?
Muy bueno. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even know what that means.
It means very good, very well. Doing well.
What?
Doing swell. Had some fish for dinner. It was good.
Okay.
Some flounder.
Did you catch the fish? That's something you do in Kentucky, right? You guys like go out in your straw hat and
They go down to the
Well,
Kentucky
yes.
coast.
you
But we
catch
actually go
lost.
We actually go out completely nude with nothing but a hunting knife. So so that way we have to actually form our clothes out of whatever we find in the wild.
Ooh.
We just cut the skin off and wear it around, and then we have to find the materials, craft a fishing pole, and whatever fish we catch, we usually just eat whole, cooked over a fire.
Like Gollum.
Like Gollum. Well, no, Gollum
Minus
doesn't
fire.
eat his up. Yeah, minus fire. Like Gollum minus fire. I actually do like to fish in the summer,
Yeah.
but I didn't catch this fish. I don't think you can catch flounder in Kentucky.
Yeah. Paul, Alan, tell him.
Yeah, you go down to the Kentucky coast
Oh boy.
and take an ocean boat out.
I got to tell you,
That ocean boat.
the best surfing I've ever had was on the Kentucky coast.
My favorite part is when he said ocean boat.
It's great because Kentucky has the mountains right by the coast,
Yeah.
so you could ski down the
mountain.
snow mountain
Yeah.
into the water, grab a hold of a boat, an ocean
Yeah.
boat,
Stream. Stream
take
sport.
off, grab the rope. Yeah,
It's really something.
So flounder, where did you buy that then? The grocery
from Disney.
store.
Grocery store. Yeah.
Gosh, we're 4 minutes in and the rails are gone.
We never even saw the rails. The first thing you're doing is telling me that you can hear everything I'm saying and that you all know all my recipes. Then we're turning down for what?
Uh-huh.
And we never even found the rails.
What are rails?
Alan, how are you?
I'm alright. I was feeling kind of loopy earlier today, but then I had a buffalo burger, and that has invigorated my vigor.
You.
Yeah, me.
It's invigorated you.
Yeah, and my vigor. And
your
so,
vigor.
even though I'm still somewhat loopy, and I'm dreading the cold later tonight, I'm ready to podcast. I feel like tonight I'm gonna bring my A game, or maybe my B game, but I'm gonna bring some game no matter what.
Well, maybe a safe B plus range.
That's what I'm
game.
shooting for. I'm shooting for an A plus, but if I land in the B plus range, I'll be okay. You know?
Right.
If y'all don't know out there, Seth gives us grades after every podcast.
It
Yeah,
does.
that's true.
It determines whether or not we're welcome back for the next episode.
Well, that's not really true, but I have a standing grade of C minus. Alan fluctuates between like a
C
B
minus.
plus and an A plus plus.
A
Paul
plus plus.
is the only one of us to dabble in the F range,
Oh yeah.
but for the last year he's been up. What the heck? It sounds like there was a UFO landing on my roof.
Is there?
You better go
They
check.
found out. They found
You
out
get-
about your film, The Minerva Monster,
Can you guys hear
Which-
that?
was actually an alien, and now they're coming to shut you up before it gets.
I got a. What the heck is happening?
You got too close. What is happening?
Seth is being abducted right now before our
Are
eyes
we about to witness a live abduction?
by
Is that
aliens.
about to happen?
As long as we just see the abduction.
My entire house, my whole home was like shaking. I don't know what that was.
Is it
sounded
the train
like
tracks?
It sounded like something landing on my roof. Let's move on. We're gone. We're gone.
Hello, friends, listeners. Welcome back to What's Up with Paul. Part of the show where Paul tells you what's up. And I have a couple things to talk about tonight.
Mhm.
I want to point out that when we pitched this new segment, and we're going to call it What's Up with Paul, I was going to do like topics and stuff.
Yeah.
Every time I've tried to do a discussion topic, you all have relentlessly trolled me into a corner to the point that we had to move on to a news topic.
All right.
So, at
Paul,
this
we
point,
troll you.
yes, but it's not always relentless.
The news, it doesn't matter. You're our Jonesy. I don't even know what that means.
Miss Jonesy.
Yeah.
So, this week, hot off the wire, I have some breaking news. I don't think anyone else knows about this yet, but I found out. I was given a call by my my contacts over at Marvel Marvel Studios. That yeah, I've got some friends that work for Marvel Studios. It's no big deal.
I didn't know that.
Got a call from my friend Remigio, who works for Marvel Studios.
Yeah. Famous. World famous.
World famous Remigio, and
What's his last name again? Yeah, that's what I thought.
wait, what are we saying? What? Remigio.
We need to move.
His
forward
last
here.
name is Remigio. What are you
Uh-huh.
talking about?
I don't know. Bob
Me
Remigio?
neither. No, it's just Remigio. It's like
Oh,
Prince,
He's like Cher.
except Remigio. Yes.
Okay.
So the next time that we see Spider-Man, the
Mm.
beloved Marvel character, in film form, it will be in a for to unannounced, but it's going to be Captain America Marvel Studios film.
What?
Yep.
Shut the
Spider-Man-
front door.
Is whoa, easy now, easy.
Yeah, sorry.
Who's Spider-Man?
Peter Parker.
Are you sure it's not Miles Morales?
Actually, no, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's Peter Parker. So, all joking aside, Marvel Studios and Sony Pictures have finally made that deal that everyone was talking about to bring Spider-Man to the MCU, as the kids are calling it on the street. Next time we see him in a film, it will be in a Marvel film, and I expect that film will be Captain America Civil War.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, Marvel, instead of paying Sony a whole bunch of money, is paying them no money.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
And yes, they have given Sony absolutely no money for this. It's just a deal. The deal is this: Marvel gets to include Spider-Man in their films, and they will potentially put some of their characters in the Spider-Man film. But when Sony makes a standalone Spider-Man film, Marvel has no creative control over it. It's kind of funny that they said that, and then Kevin Feige is half of the executive producing team for the next Spider-Man film. But you know how it is.
Do you think that Sony's gonna dunk up the Marvel CU, with some silly Spider-Man movies, or do you think that they'll play it cool?
What do you mean?
I mean, they're gonna dunk it up, or they're gonna fit in with them. They're going to do something that's going to blatantly. What if they do something crazy like,
Get Tobey Maguire back.
yeah, or have a Spider-Man 3 again? Just re-release that movie with the new actor.
Like John Travolta, cast John Travolta as a younger Peter Parker.
Oh, they've already cast Jon Stewart.
That's not true.
He quit the Daily Show the day that they announced it, or the day after. I don't remember.
So, this is Peter. We're talking about Peter Pan, right?
Yeah.
No. What?
What?
Andrew Garfield will not be involved in any of the future Spider-Man films.
Well, that.
Is that confirmed?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even. Why do people care about this? I didn't even know Garfield was a Marvel character to begin with.
Seth, please.
What? I didn't.
For the love of God.
What about Odie?
Oh
about-
man.
What about Odie?
Odie joining the Avengers. Normal? Yeah. We're all on the same page.
Yeah, John's going to be the new Nick Fury.
Oh boy.
Mid swallow. That's no. Sorry.
Oh boy.
Wow.
I stopped.
We
I
have
stopped
really-
myself.
No, you didn't. You really.
I did.
You were too late. Spider-Man will be in a Marvel film, and I guess this means we will be seeing him as an Avenger with Avengers 3.
Do you think he's going to have the whole origin thing happen? Or is he just
Honestly,
gonna...
I kind of doubt it, simply if for no other reason than the fact that the first time that we see this new Spider-Man will be in Captain America. So, I'm presuming Captain America. It could be a different film. But basically, Spider-Man's going to be in a Marvel movie. And then in 2016, or is it 17? No, 2017, I think, they're releasing the first new Spider-Man movie. They've said he's going to be in high school, and they're probably going to have him in high school for a while. I don't know. That's one reason why some people are speculating that they may do Miles Morales.
It's Jon Stewart, I'm telling you.
Okay, I'm pretty sure it's not Jon Stewart.
Yeah, I'd be cool with bringing Miles Morales into it. I would prefer them start with Peter Parker.
Yeah, I want Peter.
I agree.
I guess I'm racist, but I want.
We all are. It's okay.
I want Peter Parker.
It's not that. It's that Peter Parker is one of the best characters in the Marvel Universe. And Miles is a cool character, but he's only cool because he exists in a world where we can go read comics about Miles Morales, or we can go over to the 616 and read about Peter Parker. See what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're picking it up.
Or
I mean,
we could go over to 616 and read about Doc Ock and Gwen Spidey, or Spider-Gwen, whatever they're calling her these days. And
Yeah.
that guy that says shock
one of
all the
those
time.
things.
Shocker. Yeah.
It's not Shocker. It's Spider-Man
No, he's
2099
Shocker.
or whatever.
It's like, what, the shock?
He's like, get
Yeah,
the
well-
shock out of my house.
It's
That
like,
sounds,
shut the shock door.
Boys. All right, boys.
Sorry.
All right. So Spider-Man, Marvel movies. All trolling aside, are you guys excited about this or
Yeah,
not?
I'm fine.
Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't
You
see.
know-
There are people who are complaining about this online that I was engaged in an argument with some of them on
What?
Facebook.
Oh, really?
Complaining, yes, people complaining that Peter deserves to be in his own world. He doesn't need to be in a world where all these other comic characters are, and that it works in the comics. It's not going to work in the movies. And to these people, I say, get the heck out of my house.
What? Are they in
were
your house right now?
They're
Yeah.
downstairs. They're playing that song, that Turn Down for What, and they're dancing around on my couch.
Were they on a boat at the time?
Someone's bleeding.
Spider-Man, Marvel Universe, Sony crossover. It'll be interesting to see how this plays out, but I think that Sony needs to let Marvel at least advise them on what to do with Spider-Man in his own films.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think they just need to relinquish all control to Marvel, if I'm being honest. But that's not going to happen.
I haven't even read any of the specifics of this deal, so I don't know how it works or who's getting rights to what or how.
Sony is keeping all their rights They haven't relinquished any rights. They're just allowing Marvel to use him in their films, the character.
Mm-hmm.
And they're going to be using some of Marvel's characters in their films. I think that that's a big part of it, is they think that that will help them bring people in. You know what I'm saying? Because Marvel films are so successful. So we need to move on. So last week, DC came out and released all kinds of news about their lineup starting this summer, how things are changing.
Oh.
It is the end of the New 52.
Oh.
Nice.
There will be no more New 52 tag on the comics themselves, and DC will not be releasing 52 titles, which they haven't really been doing that for a while now.
Right.
But it's an official thing. It's now the new 48 or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
The lower 48?
So I'm just going to real quickly shotgun here, read off to you
What
the
happened to
names
Hawaii?
of the new series that are coming out.
Yeah.
Batman Beyond
Mm-hmm.
by Dan Jurgens and Bernard Chang.
Jurgens.
Batmite by Dan Jurgens.
What?
the heck?
Yes, a Batmite series.
How?
And they released like some concept art, and it's going to be like this. I think it's supposed to be like a funny kind of comic.
LOL.
I don't know. I'm actually curious about that. I mean, it could be. I actually really like stuff like that, comics like that don't take themselves too seriously and they're just fun to read.
Yeah, like Batman proper.
Bizarro, Black Canary. They are rebranding Constantine as Constantine the Hellblazer.
Constantinople?
Cyborg is getting his own series, drawn by Ivan Reis.
That could
Yeah.
be cool.
That's nice.
It's written by a guy named David Walker.
Nope, I'm out.
Who is
You know who
that?
that is?
I don't know.
I have no idea.
Dark Universe. I don't know what that is.
Uh-huh.
Justice
Green
League Dark.
Lantern Lost Army.
Okay.
Doomed by Lobdell. Earth 2 Society. Dr. Fate by Paul Levitz.
Mhm.
There is a Harley Quinn Power Girl series, like a team-up series, but I think I read that was limited.
I thought that was already going on, like right now.
Well,
Oh,
there's
it already ended.
Harley Quinn is, but this is like a Harley Quinn Power Girl team-up book.
Okay. I'll allow it.
Justice League of America, written and drawn by Brian Hitch.
Mm-hmm. I know.
Justice League 3001.
Oh my god.
Yeah, by Keith Giffen. Martian Manhunter,
Okay.
cool.
drawn by Ben Oliver. That's cool.
Mm.
Midnighter.
Oh god.
What's that?
Mystic. He was one of the characters they got when they started the.
Authority. He's
What's
from the Authority.
What was that publisher?
Wildstorm.
Wildstorm. That's the one. Mystic U, Omega Men, Prez. I don't know what Prez is. I saw a picture. Red Hood / Arsenal. Here's something I want to talk about. I mean,
Is he holding a dead
holding a cat. I hope so. He's not. I'm not interested.
That's a deal breaker.
Robin, Son of Batman,
Mm-hmm.
written and drawn by Patrick Gleason.
Huh.
Hold on. Written and drawn by
Written
Patrick?
and drawn. There is no Tomasi.
Where'd Tomasi go?
As in, Tomasi's not listed as a writer in any book in the DCU.
DC's losing another good one.
No,
I'm not sure they
I
are.
don't think they are because he was on a lot of pictures that Johns has been posting from that DC Creative Summit.
I think they're just holding back something because I'll also say something else there in a second. Section 8, written by Garth Ennis.
Whoa.
Now, that was surprising. Apparently, that is taking off of an old series that he did
Mm-hmm.
with DC. I can't remember what it was called. It looks crazy. And then there's a Starfire book
Well, that's weird.
written by Paul Miotti and Amanda Connor. And then there is a We Are Robin book. And I don't know what that is.
Oh, is that Robin from the Teen Titans Go? You know, the one that's an actual bird?
I don't know, but if it was, then I would be interested.
I would read that.
So those are all the new series. Here are the series that are sticking around. Action Comics, Aquaman, Batgirl, Batman, Detective Comics, and I think these all have the same creative teams as before. Batman, Superman, Catwoman has a new creative team. Deathstroke, The Flash, Gotham Academy, Gotham by Midnight, Grayson, Green Arrow, Green Lantern, Harley Quinn, Justice League, which is the only book written by Jeff Johns. Justice League United, and it says stay tuned for creative team, as in it's changing. Lobo,
Yeah.
Secret Six, Sinestro, New Suicide Squad, Superman, still drawn by John Romita Jr., but written by Gene Luen Yang.
Who?
Yeah. He American-born Chinese.
Oh, yeah. Superman, Wonder Woman. Oh, I was wrong. Superman, Wonder Woman is written by Peter Tomasi,
Oh.
with art by Doug Monkey.
Ooh.
I think I read that a while back now that I see that.
I know what I'm going to be reading.
Teen Titans and Wonder Woman, which is written and drawn by the Finches.
Yeah, this is terrifying. The fact that Johns is so gone from this lineup.
I think they're holding something back because, well, when Johns tweeted, or when the news broke that he was going off of Superman like next month, which completely surprised me, he said, someone asked him about what his next book was, and he said he couldn't say, but that if you were curious to ask his good friend Gary Frank. Now, we know that he's working on Batman Earth 1, but everybody knows that, and it'll be out before this even happens, I think.
Yeah, it's
So-
out in May.
What's he talking about? I think he's talking about Shazam.
I don't know. I think you might be talking about Captain Marvel.
He's not Captain Marvel anymore. In the new
I'm talking about the Marvel one.
Captain Marvel, the new Marvel series launching, written by Jeff Johns, drawn by Gary Frank.
Yeah.
I'm just curious why they can't keep Andrew Garfield.
DC just
Okay.
can't keep good writers.
It's true.
I say we just move on to Skullkickers at this point, unless you guys legitimately have something to say.
I'll say this.
Mhm.
I'm shocked and appalled.
Yeah, I'm. Anyone not listening, Alan gave a great, serious look after he said he was shocked and appalled. It was Rush Limbaugh times 20 coming right at you. No, I will say some of this news out of DC has me very concerned.
They have actually taken on. I was reading an article, and that about some of the creators were talking. They've taken on the word Batgirl as a verb, as they're Batgirling certain books,
Yeah, screw them.
Oh.
which is a term that they're using to describe as they like revamp the style of a book.
Why don't you just make good books, you bunch
First
of
of all-
flippin' retards?
You can't say that.
I'm sorry.
The thoughts and opinions of Seth do not reflect on the thoughts and opinions as ancillary characters as a whole.
It's okay.
Please don't send us your hate mail for his insecurities.
Yeah, it's insecurities. I am completely secure.
I'm not.
But I don't know. There's a couple of those books that I think sound interesting.
Uh,
Yeah.
But that being said, I hate to see Tomasi off of Batman and Robin, even though it's not Batman and Robin anymore. It's Robin, the son of Batman.
Yeah.
We're soft endings here. This is soft.
Welcome to Skullkickers, the part of the show where we talk about Skullkickers by Jim Zub. That's the guy who puts the words on it. And Jim Zubkovich, if I want to be fully honest, because that's what's written here on Amazon. And Chris Stevens and Edwin Huang as the
Huang?
illustrators. I wasn't sure if it was Huang or Huang.
Why?
So I just kind of mix both in between because sometimes my brain does that, where I try to say one thing and then switch to another mid-sentence. Huang. That's what I'm going with.
Huang.
So, this book, this is volume 1, titled 1000 Oppas and a Dead Body. This stars our intrepid heroes, Cuball and the Dwarf. I believe later they're given the names Rex and Rolf. but in this, I don't think they mention their names in this one. Anyway, they enter a town in this fantasy setting, and they're fighting these werewolf things, and they kill them. And then they go to the head of town, the head of the town guard, and say, "Hey, where's our monies?" And he's like, "You don't have any proof you killed them. They disintegrated." And they're like, "What?" Well, then a dignitary from a chancellor, in fact, from somewhere fancy, comes riding into town on this literal high horse, and everybody's like, "Oh, look at him! He's clean and he's got cool clothes and he smells good, unlike the rest of us." And because this is, fantasy medieval times when people smelled bad in general, they didn't have deodorant back then. I don't know if that's true or not. I read the book by Michael Crichton that asserted it's not true. Timeline, read it. So anyway, he's sauntering through town on his horse when suddenly, arrow to the face, he dies.
That's pretty surprising.
It was kind of shocking because it was very violent.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I didn't mean like I was surprised that the guy died. I meant it was shocking to see an arrow jutting through this guy's head and basically the back of his head exploding.
I thought it was shocking that this guy we had never seen before just died like
Instantaneously.
some crazy George R. R. Martin crap there. So anyway, the town guard locks him up in the morgue, which is just a room with a table that he's sitting on, the dead body. And the dignitary's assistant type guy is all like, "I need that body back. He's got to have a proper burial. We need to wrap him up in silk and put perfumes on him and crap like that." And so he hires Cubal and Dwarf to steal the body back. They try to, but some necromancer zombie thing has it instead. And from there, they go on an adventure to get the body because they were promised 1,000 upas if they bring the body back. Hijinks ensue. Evil demon things are around and attack, and they fight. Yeah, that's Skullkickers, Volume 1. 1,000 upas and a dead body.
My favorite aspect of Skullkickers has always been the little comedic bits, like the sound effects. He'll do some hilarious things with the sound effects, and then caption boxes and narration boxes, and Jim Zub's dialogue is always hilarious. And I do say that this opening story arc is not the best Skullkickers story. I think I read the first story way back when. In fact, I bought the first issue the day it came out. It sold out like crazy everywhere. And I bought the first issue and didn't like it to the point where I never checked the series out for like 5 years or something, 3 years or something. And then I just checked it out again about a year or two ago and discovered that I really liked it. Especially the more I got into it, the further I read, the more I liked it. But that first story arc is this one that we're talking about tonight. It's good, and I like it, and it serves as a good introductory to the characters. But I feel like the book gets much better the further you read. I don't know if anyone else would agree with me.
I would agree.
I agree. We both
Have you
agree.
read past this, Paul?
See, I actually have only read. They like renumbered it at 1 later.
Oh, yeah.
And I was getting issues for a while, and then I missed a few and just never went back to it and figured I'd pick it up and trade. But that was the first I had read was later on in the series when they renumbered it at 1, and it like picks up and the dwarf is dead, and it keeps going back and showing his dead body at the bottom of every page.
I remember that.
And after 1 issue, I was just like, this is a book that I have got to be reading because it was really, really clever, and it was very sure of itself. This first story arc definitely doesn't feel as sure of itself. It feels like it kind of pulls some of its punches. It's still very good, and I would still give it out to anybody who's into, fantasy type stories, dwarves and magic and things like that. It's a lot of fun, and there were some literal laugh out loud moments. The whole sequence where the dwarf gets drugged by the poison.
Yes.
And the
That was my
bull
favorite
god
part.
is like speaking to him out of the sky, and he's like having all these prophecies. I was laughing so loud. I was back in my bedroom laughing. my wife was in the living room watching TV that she was just like, "What are you doing?" Because it was so funny. So Jim Zub understands humor,
He does.
and he understands it in a lot of ways. You know, some guys are good with like quips, and his quips are really funny, especially coming from the dwarf. But man, he understands it on a primal level. And there's so many things in this book that are just laugh out loud, hilarious. But honestly, honestly more than the story in this volume, the art is just so good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a cartoony style, which is
Very
perfect.
clean.
It's very clean. It is
It almost
heavy lines.
it almost looks like animation cells or something.
It does. It looks like very, very high quality animation. But I don't know. I do agree with what Seth said, that the story kind of gets better. The book kind of gets better later on in the sense
Yeah,
that
he
the
gets
story
more
becomes
confident.
stronger.
He gains like a confidence in his
Yeah.
writing, which happens with almost every book, but he gains a
Sure.
confidence, especially in his comedy, where he's more willing to just let the jokes fly. And
Yeah,
while this is funny, I just feel like it definitely is, you know, at some point it does start to get to what I would consider to be a great book. And I think this is a really good book. This first story arc is a really good story. But it definitely is just a gateway to something that becomes really great.
Yeah, the story gets bigger from here. Like it's planting seeds in this first arc for stuff that happens later, and some of the stuff like it tells a good story, like a good fantasy story, something you might read in like R.A. Salvatore Dungeons and Dragons type stuff. Because Jim Zub's a huge D&D Pathfinder type fan. He
Yeah,
likes
and
to
that
tell
shows a lot in this story.
Absolutely. But one thing I love about Jim Zub's take on it is whenever he makes these really cool, interesting story arcs, but he has such silly takes on them that they're serious. Like, to give an example from this book, the dwarf, he's getting sacrificed by the necromancer to turn into a zombie. And something happens, and the necromancer gets distracted, misses, and instead of using his mystic knife to kill him through the heart, he just stabs his leg. So now the dwarf's leg is possessed.
Yeah.
And that's like one of the arcs that goes through the rest of the series. And so the climax of this has the demon that the necromancer was drawing power from, like turning his zombies into this giant monster, and the dwarf is just hanging off the back of his head, and he's got his leg embedded in this big like amalgamation of fleshy zombie things, and he's just hanging there by his leg. And it's like this big intense moment. You see the dwarf get absorbed and you think, oh no, not the dwarf, but then suddenly he's hanging out the back of his head just by the leg, and Cue Ball is trying to save the townsfolk and all that. And there are these great like comedic bits throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
I love the scene Paul was talking about. The dwarf is like flying through the air, and he has this look of a whimsy, like he's in Peter Pan land. Like he's in awe of what's happening, and these cryptic prophetic words are coming that make almost no sense. But the dwarf is just
make no sense. They make no sense.
and there's these acid trip things happening around him, like there's like a centaur or something, some kind of bull in the sky, and he's just floating around.
It's like a minotaur or something. I don't know what it is. Oh gosh, but it just goes there. It goes everywhere.
Yes, and there's another good moment where the two guys are mercenaries and they're buddies, but their merc work comes ahead of that. So at one point the dwarf is like, "Why didn't you come save me?" He said, "I was stashing the body we were trying to." He said, "I went upstairs and stashed the body safely, the one they're trying to turn in for 1,000 opas." And the dwarf was like, "Well, fair enough." It's like, 1,000 opas more important than my life.
I'm just coming from the vantage point of someone who loves to play role-playing games like D&D. This game has it has a special this game. I do that. This book has a special charm. Like it almost feels like the two main characters are actually player characters and everyone else is an NPC.
Yep.
because everyone around them is in this world where all this stuff has weight and has, it's serious business. But to them, they just always have a smirk on their face, like, we know we're coming through this on the other side, like they know something no one else knows. So it almost feels like they're the player characters and everyone else is NPCs around them. And Jim Zub just has a way of creating that in such a way that it's hilarious. And it's not just hilarious, it's really cool storytelling. Like, as we're going through that dream space sequence with the bull thing and the squid and all that, I'm thinking, this is nonsense. But at the same time, I'm thinking Jim Zub is probably actually going to make some of this matter. Like this is probably a real prophecy that later on he's going to hail back to, and it's just so much better for that fact, even though it's absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and that's something I'd never thought about before, of them being the NPCs and everybody else being, or them being the PCs, player characters, and everybody else being NPCs. But that's really true, especially for Cue Ball, because he really seems like a man out of time, or a man out of his own. He's not. He adapts really well to the fantasy setting, but he's got a gun for one thing. Nobody else knows what a gun is. They're always surprised when he starts shooting with his pistol. So, you can tell there's something, he's out of place, but the mercenary lifestyle suits him very well. But the gun has some good humor too, and it's like apparently magic. I don't think they talked about this in this volume, but you can tell he's just shooting bullets left and right. There's no reloading.
The colors are really good in this book too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Outstanding.
It lends to that animation look.
It does.
But I'm not a D&D guy like you are, so for me, it was surprising that I got into this as much as I did, because it's not speaking directly to something that I'm into. But I do like fantasy, and I understand the stereotypes, the character stereotypes. And while I do think the two main characters are kind of like supposed to be playing on those stereotypes, they're not predictably, it's not predictable the way they're portrayed.
Yeah.
No, it's not.
Right. And they're still funny and unique.
They have a certain pairing. Like, the dwarf is the goof, and the cue ball is the straight man. He's the one that's all the jokes are played off for the dwarf. But they even put twists on that throughout as well.
Yeah. I don't know. Honestly, I feel like this is a great book to hand out to someone who is into these types of stories with, orcs, goblins, dwarves, fantasy-style settings that maybe isn't into comics. Or if you have a friend that you know is a big fan of something like Lord of the Rings and that has a good sense of humor, this is a great book. This is a great gateway comic for someone who doesn't read them. I'd never read this specific volume. Like I said, all the stuff I'd read was later on, and I picked this up. Actually, I picked up this trade like for $5 at a comic shop, which was a steal. But you can get it on Amazon for less than $10. I mean, if you haven't read this, I would recommend getting it.
I have the Treasure Trove hardcover.
Yes, I recommend that.
So do I.
The Treasure Trove hardcover includes the first 2 volumes, and it's a really, really nice hardcover.
Yeah.
Like one of the nicer ones I've seen in terms of the quality of the paper and the binding. And on Amazon right now, it's $24.73, which is pretty good for a hardcover of this caliber.
Double volume.
Oh yeah, and it's got some good back matter too. Like you see some early Skullkicker like concept comics, and you can see how the tones changed. Like one of them in it is super serious. There's like these really creepy zombies. And like Paul was saying earlier, I started reading this whenever they renumbered it from 1. Then I went back and bought the Treasure Trove edition. But there's still a gap between the end of the Treasure Trove and the renumbering that I haven't read yet. So after I read this for the show, I went on Amazon and I got the Treasure Trove Volume 2. They didn't have it through Amazon Prime, sadly, but they did have it new through a third party for just $12 plus shipping.
Nice.
So I got it for like $16.
Cool.
So I'm going to be reading that soon.
Nice.
I'd been planning on getting that Treasure Trove edition because I think Seth told me about it back in the day, and I just kept putting it off, and then when I saw this for $5, and I think that was before my discount a while back at the comic shop I used to go to in Bowling Green, I decided just to pick it up and see how I liked it. So if you're, not sure this is for you, but you're curious, check out the trade. But if you're like us and you buy a lot of comics, get that Treasure Trove edition.
Yeah.
But I think this is a take it for all three of us.
Yes, take it. And we have hit our limit for time for this week's show.
What?
So we're moving on. But we will return next week because we do this live now, contrary to popular opinion that we had ended the show. You can find us on the web, ancillarcharacters.blogspot.com. You can find us on Facebook, facebook.com/ancillarcharacters. You can find Paul on Twitter at JollyGreen05, and Alan's on Twitter at KAlanBoone. I'm on Twitter at SethBreedsLove. You can find Turtle Jump, the other show that Paul and Alan do, which is about video games, turtlejump.com. I do a show called Sasquatch, a podcast about Bigfoot. I'm also directing a movie, Minerva Monster. Visit the Kickstarter, pledge some money, throw money at us, even though we're already 720% over funding, apparently. And I think that does it. I think that does it for this week's show. So we'll be back next week. Adios.
Goodbye.
Bye. Good job, team.
We did it!
Yeah, we did.
So, Seth, what's our grade for tonight?
You get a C++.
I get a C++.
Programming language.
Yeah, and Alan's getting a -F.
What? I'm sorry. I'll
Oh,
do
wow.